y'all have anything y'all need to add?
We add 2011-01-10. Did you know
Yeah.
that?
I've handed y'all out something, resolution 2011-01-10. Y'all hear a motion to add that to the agenda?
I would make that motion that we add resolution 2011-01-10, addressing a moratorium on rental buildings in R1 and R2.
Second. Second. Is there any discussion?
It's not gonna affect that building already, is it?
No, nothing we can do about it.
Just make sure he uses it like it says he's supposed to.
Any other discussion? All those in favor, add 2011-01-10, say aye.
Aye.
All right, it's added. All right. Y'all got before you a noise ordinance that tries to clean up some of what we had before. I know the police department had talked to me about there were some ambiguities and some conflicts and different things like that. And if you'll look at it, it allows for things like, I have to go through and hit the highlights. If y'all see something I'll leave out, y'all might throw y'all in there. If you go under number 9, it says plainly audible, and it gives you a definition of that, and it has where dogs bark. Before that was it was kind of iffy on how it could be enforced, but it says the dog that barks, bays, cries, howls, or makes other noises continuously or incessantly for a period of 30 minutes or more, or barks intermittently for an hour or more, is presumed to be in violation of this ordinance. So it has to be 30 minutes, and it has to be clear that that had happened. Go and look under number 20, loudspeakers and amplifiers. It's a distance of 50 feet from the building or structure from the source of sound in an open yard to be plainly audible when the nearest building or such structure is nearer than 50 feet. It tells you that, or more than 10 feet from a vehicle. So there's a difference in vehicles and buildings. Fireworks is in there, detonation, explosion of firecrackers, so forth, so on, between the hours of 10 a.m. and 10 p.m. during a 1-week period, leading up to and includes the July 4th, and during the 1-week period leading up to and includes it of January the 1st. To read that, it does not apply to public displays of fireworks in the city and sanctioned by the city and permitted by the fire marshal. And one reason that was put in there is because if you allowed fireworks to be all year long, you couldn't really tell if it was fireworks or a gun. That'd be the difference. That's why. But you have to be able to shoot fireworks. If we're going to allow fireworks to be shot in the city of Leeds during 4th of July and New Year's, then you're going to have to allow for the noise.
I have one question. We've got 10 a.m. to 10 p.m. is the allowed time, right?
Right.
Okay. Well,
what about on New Year's Eve?
Yeah, New Year's, most people go out at midnight and shoot them. I'm just saying that's.
We can do what y'all want to. It's always able to be amended, but the only problem with that is we can set the one night for 12 o'clock, but I don't know.
I'm just saying.
I understand.
Typically, that's when people go out and holler Happy New Year and.
So what do y'all think? On July.
I hardly stay out.
On New Year's Eve, making it after 12 o'clock. Y'all have an opinion of that, Mr. Cowles? You got an opinion?
Yeah. I think it's simple. New Year's Eve, anybody's gonna do it. I'm sure Tails guys are not gonna go out there and hound people on New Year's Eve until after 1 or 2 o'clock in the morning, That's more or less.
Well, the reason really, if seems kinda silly, I know, but the reason it has to be put in there is because, if we're gonna have legal shooting of fireworks in the city of Leeds, if we're gonna sell them, or allowing people to shoot them, either we can outlaw them, or we can set some restrictions on it, cause you know, and, I think the lawyers just put 10 to 10, they figure, you know, they don't want people every night for 4 years, every night for the 4 years.
There's a little bit of inconsistency in that 10 to 10 during 1 week period, 7 consecutive 24-hour periods.
Right.
Okay,
Leading up to that day.
I know that, but you're saying 7 consecutive 24-hour periods, but then you're putting a 12-hour time frame on it.
So they're talking about a day being 24 hours, so say 7 days. Just lawyer mode.
That's it saying, in that 7-day consecutive 24-hour days, you can only shoot them from 10 to 10. Is that not what it said?
Yeah.
Is that not
Well, I know
it
that's
means?
what it's saying, but it still sounds
know.
like one's overriding the other one.
It's only a first reading.
Yes, but we can go ahead and, if y'all wanna amend that to say up to midnight
And just say,
on New Year's Eve.
Mayor, I think you probably ought to go till maybe 12:30 or 1 o'clock. I think Ms. Carswell and Councilman Kyle both made great points on both of those. One, we're not gonna go hammer anybody, but if we leave it without
That's
a
right.
change, then someone will complain that we're
That's right.
not enforcing the law on that.
Say 12:30.
Okay.
Because typically they go out at midnight to shoot them off.
Well, I'll tell you, you might tell me, aren't
My dog's house.
they a certain distance from a dwelling? Is it
600 feet from a building,
So, where can you shoot it in Leeds?
a whole lot of places technically, but
Is that what it says?
Yes,
If
sir.
you wanted 600 feet of a building,
yes, sir.
No, it's not.
is that, is
Structure.
a residential structure included?
The term building was,
Well,
because we've had some debate about that as well, you know, whether this residential.
you know, right now, I know we personally, we didn't pass that fireworks ordinance. I mean, this administration put in how close you could be to sell them to a to a gas station and all that. I know we put those kind of rules in and stuff, and the ordinance allows for so many days to sell them twice a year. And state code says you can only sell them 14 days twice a year anyway. So, they can't be sold year round in the state anyway, so I think we only allow for 10 days. But I agree, I mean, we'll fix that.
Just that one night.
Right, I don't think our attorney's that attorney probably shoots fireworks. Anyway, and the mayor, you know, he's got a few after the Auburn game. He was kinda happy, so I hope I get amnesty on that.
no. Need to go to rest that one.
Alright, you can see on here, that because of places like the Sonnet House that has the music, at weddings and things like that, that under 22A, it says 9 to 9 from Sunday through Thursday, and it says up to 12, on Friday and Saturday. It has some restrictions on the distance and things like that. You can keep going through it. It says, B is, 10 feet from a motor vehicle or from any pedestrian operating a device. The vehicle might be stopped, standing, parked, or moving. I mean, y'all think 10 feet's okay? You wanna raise it or what? I mean, if you're like at a gas station or something, somebody comes in blasting the radio out, the police officer, you made a complaint, police officer in here, he could clearly hear it, you know, from 10 feet or more, they'd be in violation. It's pretty close, but I think that's what Birmingham's is. I think that's what most everybody around Birmingham metro area is, 10 feet.
Well, all the things we have here, I think that's one of the most irritable things you can do, is pull up to the gas station, you know, and not loud
Right.
music. And I don't like it, and I know a lot of other people have spoken against it, so I know, I think that's good, but when we
seems like it's, a graduated scale of,
Yeah, we didn't
I can't remember
address that, it's already on the
$25.
books, the ticket, prices are.
Okay, that's what I would like to see, since this is gonna be the first week, and I'd like to see all that.
Right.
And
But-
how much it would be, because, you know, I don't want nobody to come stopping my party at my house either, you know, I party out at 10 o'clock. Get an opportunity, but, you know, so midnight, you know, Friday.
I know later than that.
Well, all of it's enforceable because it has specific times. You know, it's got, officer's discretion. You have to, if you said that's not true, get everybody in the car to come say, you know, that's not how it happened. They were standing, they were only 2 feet away, things like that. I mean, you can always fight anything like this.
Yeah.
But we've gotta have some kind of, you know, some kind of system that we can all follow, because, right now, there's so many discrepancies and things in it that it's, hard to enforce. And, you know, it's, there's other things like, people working on stuff at night, things like that, that's all in here. There's, you know, you have to take in, some of it does seem kind of redundant, silly and things like that, but you have to take into account everything. You look at 23, it talks about people, you know, yelling, shouting, and things like that in the streets, things that, to the point that they're a nuisance. That sound, you know, that sounds kind of, dumb until you actually have that happen, and then you have to try to enforce it. You have, it talks about when, you know, if you look under 25, vehicles, I know there's some complaints about mosquito spraying at 4 in the morning or something. Well, that's included in here, you know, stuff like that. I think Ms. Ernest complained about that.
I did.
This says I can't start cutting my grass till 7 a.m. I start at 6.
Yeah. It,
They ask you to do that,
what?
something that, like,
Well, that's why we're going through it. If y'all wanna change the time, we can change the time.
Be kind to the neighbors.
Huh?
I think the distance is what our problem is. I would hate to know that a policeman come up, write me a ticket, and tell know what I'm talking about. Once you say it ain't gonna happen, it will happen. If I'm listening, sitting in the summer with the window down, and 10 feet away, a policeman hears, the Temptations, which ain't really a loud thing. And he comes over and said, cut your radio down, and, I mean, you know, your 10 feet ain't far.
Well, that's why I said y'all wanna change the distance.
It needs to go back to about 25 to 50 feet.
What you're talking about at a gas station.
Well, I'm talking about just that from a car in the city, be anywhere, you know, with the be.
I know when we, at the library, because it's right there at the, we can hear them inside the building sometimes thumping.
well, those are the actual vehicles that you were wanting to target, if that's the word to say, or that we're trying to address more so than,
It's a,
10 feet is close. And George and I were
it's
talking
a
about that
tool
too.
to be used,
Absolutely,
not
not
a
abused.
run out here and write
Well, I
15
don't,
million
I mean, we
tickets
don't,
on it.
it's just, that's why we're going over.
Well, I can assure you that far more discretion is used by the officers, because there's a lot more, how about turning that down, just like you just said, how about turning that down than there is, hand me your ID, because you're getting a citation for it.
Right.
On each.
I mean,
The 10 feet is not new, by the way, though, in the ordinance, from a vehicle.
Right, I think it already is in our ordinance. I think Birmingham's 10 feet.
I'm not sure about that.
I think it is. I mean, I'm just saying that, not like we're putting some real restricted thing on nobody else's guy.
Well,
I like 25 feet. 25 feet is not that far.
That's
a little bit more reasonable.
That's not 25 feet from us.
Right, man, we're 25 feet away from
Well,
each other.
and what I'm saying is, if you restrict it on the vehicles at 10 feet or 25 feet, and then you let the band down here at the house down here play at 10 o'clock at night, and they're blowing your neighbors out, I mean, you're kind of looking at letting one go and the other not.
But I've actually been able to stand, in front of our drugstore and the service station across the street. I could hear every single word, every single profanity-laced word that was being played on a vehicle sitting at the gas station across the street.
And, yeah, I have too, you know,
That's a lot further than 25 feet.
I've been in that business for a long time, and I've done the same thing. But you can't say, hey, we're gonna make an ordinance against the people in the cars that have the loud radios. You're gonna have to make it a flat playing surface for everybody.
But we, our attorneys looked at this, and it holds up. I mean, the way it's enforced, there's any kind of discrepancy in it, they've held up.
Well, I would just like to say that I'm against the 10-foot deal on it. I think that's been a little too strict
What
on it.
about 25?
25, 50, I think somewhere like that,
I say 25.
And you know, John, I can go along with you, but at the same time, the discretion of our officers, you know, I would like to, I don't wanna see some parent that allow their child to go to the school. You know how our children are these days, how they are young, they all listen to loud music. But, you know, they go to the school and probably stop by the service station, radio loud. If they just go in and tell them to turn it down. And maybe we can get with the people at the service station and ask them to put a sign that says, no service if your radio up loud. You know, we're trying to just destroy that image, and I think it's a good way of doing it, how to work together on this. Because as a parent, I mean, I don't have no kids that young, but I just don't wanna see these parents have to pay for a ticket.
Right.
You know, that's what I'm saying.
Well, I don't think they're gonna go out targeting people, they don't do that.
It's like a,
That's what I pay for, the parents, child.
it's similar to curfew law. It's out there, and if you got a bunch of kids fighting, you know, out in the parking lot down at Bass Pro, and you go down there and you got something you can deal with them. But if you don't have a curfew law, y'all run on them and break it up. You know, if you ain't gonna do nothing to them, then they back somewhere else. But if you got a curfew law, you can send them all home, or they can send hall, call the parents. And that's the same thing I would like to see with this ordinance. It would be there to back up. If a guy's playing all this wild stuff, or if they playing at the house, he's going to say, you know, you violate the law, cut it down. And if they don't, you go
Discretion's
back
always
later,
Right.
the value
put
of
some
the
teeth
tool.
into it.
Well, it also has stuff in it about like that you can, it's not just the times, I mean, it can be if it's a nuisance or so unreasonable that they can, it doesn't have to just follow the times, but, you know, it doesn't wanna be where, we don't wanna get into things where, the reason the times are put on there is we won't get into things where like, somebody said, well, you made me turn mine down, you let these people play theirs after 10, you didn't let me play mine till 10. I mean, so we actually have a time to follow, but, if you look at number 30, it's talking about noise near schools, churches, hospitals, sports, anything that's, so excessive to interfere with the operation of those institutions. It has that, it has a thing here about power tools after a certain time at night. Now, this 7 a.m., do y'all want to lower that to 6?
No.
That's pretty early, I don't get up about 9.
You did, Ken.
You have to use the rotor for, Alright, so we like this, we want the distance to go up, and we want to go up 12:30 on this.
Here, and on 22B is 25 feet from the other vehicle.
Alright,
I don't know where else it is, I know it's on 22B.
y'all want to go out of session or have a first reading?
Let's make it the first reading.
Okay,
So we gotta make these corrections.
that's fine, alright, this is the first reading.
Anybody has any suggestions during the next 2 weeks then?
That's right, let me know, well, and, we know know that there seems to be a consensus that it goes from 10 to 25 feet. It goes 12:30 on New Year's. And, if there's anything else y'all got, just let me know. And, I'll get it rewritten with black lines so y'all can look at it before next time. All right, that's first reading. Resolution 2011-0109 relating to Police Department travel request.
Mayor, make
Yes.
a motion that we pass.
Second.
All right, any discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed say no. All right, city board matters, you got this. Anybody? All right, well, we received a letter from, Mr. Jack Corson, who's been serving on the Public Education Building Authority, that, notified us that he had, enjoyed serving on the, people board, and that he would, like to resign. And, I think here, December 31st, I think everybody here received it. Of course, I didn't bring mine, but, we would have, like, hear a motion to, accept his resignation.
So moved.
Second. All right. All those in favor of accepting the you got the letter? Oh, okay. Good. Please accept my resignation, member of the Public Education Building Authority, effective December 31st, 2010. It's been an honor and pleasure to be part of building our new schools. I congratulate our city government for recognizing the importance and immediate and long-term benefit of such a sizable monetary commitment by the city. Sincerely, Jack Corson. We'd like to thank Mr. Corson for his service to the community and to the Public Education Building Authority. All those in favor of accepting his resignation, say aye.
Aye.
That means there is now not one, but two openings on the Public Education Building Authority. Because Mr. Corson's term hadn't ran, but Ms. Pat Sewell's term has ran, and it just hasn't been filled. So, to go through them all,
Two openings on paper.
there's another opening on library, there's 2 openings on the people board, there's 4 openings on the park and rec.
We please set a,
We are,
I requested that.
and there is one of the waterworks terms is out, so there's actually going to be an opening on the waterworks board. So, it's probably my fault that all this stuff is drug on. We've had some problems to get some committee meetings set, some, what do you call it? Work sessions set, things like that. But those are all things that are available to be applied for.
Let's see.
No, the CDA doesn't do it.
Okay.
And, so, everything, those things are available. We hope people will apply for them. And if y'all want to, I've got another issue that's came up, and maybe we can do this work session during this other issue. There was a mistake made, or whatever you want to call it. The Blackjack restaurant, which everybody says is excellent, I hope everybody tries it and supports them, and has applied for a liquor license. That was supposed to be in the newspaper this last Thursday. It wasn't. And they would like to have their license and have everything taken care of if we approve it before the Super Bowl, because they think they'll have a good crowd for the Super Bowl. I haven't been there yet. I had to work the day they had the soft opening, but I heard they got TVs and things like that. They'd like to have their license before the Super Bowl. In order to have it applied for in the paper 2 times, we would have to have a special call council meeting to vote on that before our next council meeting. So that would be after the Super Bowl day. And, or after the date that they could go down and get their license after we approve it.
Are we not allowed to vote now that if everything's?
I don't think y'all done y'all studies on it?
Yes, sir.
Y'all, and they're okay. And, I don't think we can. I think we can't do that because we have to allow for people to come and voice their displeasure with it before we vote. And if we were gonna do that, we'd have to let them do that tonight. Or, file some kind of formal complaint or something like that. And the only way they would know to do that is if they read it in the newspaper. So I don't think we can do that. Okay? But if we did it Thursday week and had a special call council meeting for that, we could also have our, work session the same night. That would be okay with everybody. Thursday week, the earliest we could do this, because that would give 2 notifications in the papers, this Thursday and next Thursday. That'd be our earliest we could do it. I know y'all won't do it on Friday.
I'm gonna be out of town on Friday.
How about on Thursday?
I'll be Thursday's fine, but I won't be.
All right, how about y'all?
You can do it.
You think you can do it?
I don't know, probably North Carolina, but y'all can go ahead with that.
I won't do that.
I'm probably gonna do it for, maybe first. Y'all leave in the morning, we'll go this way.
We could have the thing, we could have we don't have, the work session is what we're trying to get everybody on board with. Now, the call council meeting, we could have 4 people on, we got 4 on.
That's all I'm saying is probably next week. So I'm probably not gonna be available for a work session.
So what do y'all want to do?
I'm not sure either, Mayor, because, I'm behind before everything else now, because it's the snow.
Okay.
Don't have it without me.
Well,
Well, we can do the call meeting on the 27th and do the work session the first week of February, because our next council meeting isn't until like the 7th
all right.
of
What do y'all want,
February.
when do y'all want to have it?
It would be easier Monday.
Can we do it Monday night?
Yeah, that's fine.
That would be easier Monday night than it would be, in the week.
Okay.
We
How
can't,
about Monday at the same time, 6 o'clock?
but we can't do the call meeting then.
We'll do it Thursday.
Okay.
You didn't have a problem with it. Nobody had a problem.
I don't see why I can't.
For January.
27th.
For the call meeting, the work session on the 24th,
Oh,
Monday the 24th.
No, just opposite, right?
Monday is the work session.
Yes.
So I said Monday.
Thursday would be
Call meeting.
No,
the
work
call
session.
meeting on the,
Monday's the 24th is the work session.
right.
And the call
Thursday.
meeting is Thursday.
27th.
6 o'clock on Monday. Unless y'all can be here at 5:30. 6, okay? All right. And the call council meeting, all right. Who thinks they can be here? Can you be here Thursday?
I do my best.
Can you be here Thursday?
I can.
All right. So, what's the earliest y'all meeting? 5:30?
That's
That's
Ross.
wrong.
5:30?
I'll be here soon.
Take 5 minutes. All right, 6 o'clock. All right, 6 o'clock Thursday week. And then 6 o'clock Monday for the work session. And, Mr. Fowles, please notify everybody tonight. Thank you. All right. The topics in the work session will be board matters. And anything else pertinent. The board matters will be the main way. All right. Last one, resolution 2011-0110. A resolution established a moratorium on construction of metal buildings in R1 and R2 zoning districts for a period of 90 days. All right, any discussion?
Second.
No, Ross actually,
Oh,
Washington, first.
I heard the so moved, I didn't hear the second.
Any discussion? And, we've checked this out, it is, because of the fact that it is in, planning and zoning phase, to have a public hearing on it, it's been, noticed and all that, it is, okay for us to put a moratorium on this, to keep people from just flocking in, start doing their thing, and try to get it under the wire when we're discussing it. So 90 days seems to be the limit on that, and all, and, it will go with, depending on what planning and zoning does, and that's why we put a moratorium on it. Any other discussion? All those in favor say aye. Aye. All opposed say no. All right. Any comments from the council? Yes, sir.
I would like to make a comment about what I was received when I first got into, council chambers tonight about a letter, from a group of citizens that, apparently some neighborhood, about moving of the fire station. You know, I'd be glad to talk to anybody about this, but this letter, I'm not saying it's kind of threatening, but it's like ringing their phones off the hook. That kind of tells me that you're trying to get whoever wrote this letter, author of it, is trying to get everybody to call all hours of the day or night. You know, and I don't need that. I would love to see the city, if y'all have this much problem with it, I'd like to see the city set up a public hearing on this matter. If y'all got that much concerns about it, I would like to, brother, before we proceed any further, to have a public hearing on it. But, you know, I can understand what some of you are saying, you know. My personal opinion is I would like to be close to a fire station. And I'm sure probably 60 to 70% of the older people would. I mean, I would like to see the chief's ugly face come up there if I was having a heart attack within a couple of minutes. We both got the same face, buddy. And, you know, and I can't understand that. I mean, if it's closer to you, I feel like that would be an advantage. But, you know, like I say, if the city's willing to have a public hearing, I would go along with it. I thank you for y'all's candor about it and trying to get the city's attention if that's what you need to do. I appreciate it.
Any other, discussion? All right. Thank you, Mr. Kyle. Any, public comment? State your name.
I was gonna say one thing in reference to the same letter Mr. Kyle mentioned. I have gotten several phone calls on the same topic. There seems to be some confusion that the fire station behind Papa John's restaurant or up by the old Walmart was going to close, and that there was never a plan to actually close that station. And then, the letter also states that it would only improve fire ratings down 119. The new fire station would improve fire ratings or homeowners fees for everyone in the city, not just in a particular area. Everyone pays a higher fee due to this fire station, and that's not what this says. I just want to make sure that that was clear.
Well, I'll go ahead and.
But it's not, one population is not gonna benefit everyone.
No.
That's all I want to say.
Well, I'll go ahead and do this. It says that in this letter, and I, you know, I wish when people put out things like that, they put my opinion, they sign it. I think that's kind of, you know, they're gonna, give their opinion, I think they need to sign it so we can see, what they've done for the city and if they've had any past dealings with the city and things like that, because, you know, just throwing these, anonymous letters out. The city of Leeds is notorious for this. I can remember during elections, people going by and throwing out rolled up letters into people's driveways, like newspapers and stuff, and not signing them. And I think, Ken's been here a long time, he knows that stuff is going on for a while. I mean, in some of these elections and things like that. It says that the fire station's moving to the other side of the city. The fire station's not moving to the other side of the city. It's moving to the center of the city. It makes other comments about that it's only for the rich people in Leeds. Actually, I've drawn it out on a map to show that, the fire station is, gonna be right dead center in the city, in the center of Leeds. There'll be one station on the north side of the railroad tracks. There'll be one station on the south side of the railroad tracks. If you really wanna get down to it, the one that's up at in the St. Clair County part is in a terrible location for the coverage for the city of Leeds. However, it was funded by St. Clair County money, and that's why it's in St. Clair County. It's just, right now, it's just possible that there'll be 2 fire stations and not 3. But the station, the third fire station would have moved way down on Ziegler Road. Now it's gonna be right in the center of the city, and I've drawn it out, and it shows that, a 2-mile, what do you call that? Perimeter or radius. And where the station's gonna be right now, you can see 2 miles